Hi, we're Bruce
and Cheryl.
We moved from California to get away from the hustle
and bustle
of a fast-paced lifestyle
and a not-so-perfect political climate
to enjoy a slower speed,
better values,
and a rich Christian atmosphere. Join us as we discover our new environment, rebuild our new-to-us home on 2.5 acres,
and enjoy the scenic southern landscape of central western Georgia. I came out to see what Bruce was up to.
So we got 2 more sections of subfloor set.
Yeah.
And I've got more insulation because I had an order show up today. So I've got some 2x4s for framing walls, which I'm hoping to get to soon. And then I got more insulation bats to put into these holes. But now I've also got more of the pink insulation that I saved that has to go into these cavities. So I've got cavities like here that have water lines in them, and I need a couple of layers underneath the water line and then a couple of layers over top of it so they're sandwiched. Because if I'm not mistaken, based on that line, that thing's probably going to be all the way out to here, right? So it won't get these two because they're outside of where I'm going with the subfloor until we get this wall done.
Yeah.
But it will be here. So I'll probably have to cut this guy off, drill my hole, and then push this line through there and then reattach this. So I'll lose a ferrule or whatever they call this, Uponor fitting. I'll lose an Uponor fitting for that because I've got to put it back together so I can turn the water line back on. And once we're at that point, that means all the subfloor is done, right? So I just have to worry about laying the next couple of pieces. I'll still have to cut this open and put the T in there, or the 90 rather in there, so I can put it back together. And then basically all the rest of this is wide open. And I just have these few bays that have water lines in them that I have to use the pink insulation for. The rest I can use the goods that I just bought. So like all these cells right here, right across here, I can fill all these with the Craftback, the Knopf insulation. And it's just those ones down there that I have to worry about getting the insulation sandwiched. So I think right now I'm back to insulating. So I think I'm just going to start insulating these cells. And then I do need to get some more of the Tyvek underneath here to finish off this half of the trailer or the floor. I keep wanting to call this thing a trailer. Truth is,
it's a house.
It's a house now. It used to be a trailer. It's a house now. Anyway, I want to get that half of the house done with the underlayment and get all those cells filled in with insulation. Because once that's done, then I can finish this subfloor all the way up to that point that we talked about.
Yeah.
And then once I start filling in these bays right here, because that'll, at an angle across here, all of that's Tyvek'd and ready. I just have a few more pieces to put in.
Yeah.
To get me up, and I'm going to leave this corner open until I get all my HVAC stuff underneath and at least get a bunch of the plumbing stuff built so that I can have access in and out without having to crawl through the access hole, because it's a pain in the butt having to go all the way around the house and go through that hole every time I need to go underneath. Anyway, gosh, just this little bit of walking around and talking, and I'm dripping, I'm pouring sweat.
I'm very hot too. I'm starting.
So welcome back, guys. I'm going to head outside real quick and figure out what all our deliveries are. I'm going to check things off the box, make sure we got everything. Cheryl's in the house here.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Cheryl.
I got a little overheated, just taking a respite for a second.
And Cheryl's going to make us some lunch because we spent the day out. This is our typical laundry day. And Cheryl and I went out together because there were more things to pick up at Home Depot. I'll be back in a little bit.
I'll make your sandwich when you come back in.
Okay. So we went to Home Depot, pick up some more parts because we're at that phase where there's a lot of moving parts. In order to finish closing up the subfloor, obviously insulation, but before I close it all the way in, I need to finish the plumbing stuff while I still have ability to get in and out of the floor area without having to go through that crawl hole at the end of the house, and what a pain in the butt that would be. So like I said, we ordered all the parts for, I got gas line parts, I've got parts for the waste and vent, I've got parts for the HVAC system, and a lot of the stuff I ordered online and got free delivery, so I had it delivered, which meant several days down the road. And then some of the parts were pick up in store. Then we went to pick up parts in the store, and they didn't have the parts that they said they had. And they told me, oh, you can go and get them at Carrollton. Well, Carrollton, Georgia, is more than an hour drive away from here. I'm not driving an hour to go pick up something that I can get locally, or that they should have brought to the store locally and had it for me. You know, it's kind of ridiculous. I hate to say anything disparaging about anybody or any company or anything, but I'm telling you, Home Depot they're making it harder and harder to want to use them, because their customer service is in the toilet these days. It's incredible. But nonetheless, so I'm here, I got to check things off and see that I got everything that was supposed to come. So 2-inch clean out adapters. And yes, those are 2-inch, so there's 2 of those. So those are checked off the list. I need 2 rolls of hanger strap. Well, I'm marking off on top of them, so they're here. 4 1/2-inch 90-degree elbows. 1, 2, 3, 4, they're here. I need to have 2 3-inch 90-degree elbows side inlet. So there they are. That's an interesting deal. I'll have to show you guys how that's going to work. And then I got 1 2-inch Y, and that would be that guy right there. And then I need 1 box of 7-inch flex. So here's the flex duct. And we've got, there's 7, there's 6, there's a 12, there's a 12. I already got the 10 the other day, and I had the 8 here because I bought that at the store weeks ago because I knew I was going to need to do something. All right, so then the 2 3-inch Ys. Okay, that's those 2 big monsters right there. So they're here. And 2 2-inch P-traps, that's those guys right there. So they're here. I needed 2 3-inch closet flanges. Well, that's those 2 stacked right there. And then 1 3x3 by 1.5 inch Santee. That would be that guy right there. And then a 32-ounce PVC glue. Yeah, I love the way they package this stuff. You should see this can, man. This thing is just brutalized. Brand new can of glue. Hopefully it doesn't. I like things perfect. There is nothing perfect in this world. 1 3-inch 90-degree elbow and a long radius, right? And that would be that guy right there. And then 3 1.5-inch pressure caps. And that would be those guys right there. And that's everything on that side. So I need 2 2x2 by 1.5 inch Ys. And that's, okay, those guys right there. So 2x2 by 1.5 inch. So they're here. And that completes the list. All boxes checked, so perfect. So we got all the parts that we ordered. I know I'm gonna need more. I got most of the basic parts to get the basic waste and vent system started. I know there's gonna be a few things underneath that I'm gonna need that I didn't get because I need to see how things are going together and figure out what I'm gonna need, like whether I need 45s or 22s or how I'm running the runs, stuff like that. I do have a roll of metal plumber's tape. This is the plastic plumber's tape here, this plastic hanger strap. That's gonna be great for my duct work. I prefer the metal on my PVC, which may not make sense to you, but it's just stronger if there's any weight pulled against that waistline when it's underneath. So there you got it. And then I realized when I was at Home Depot the other day picking up some of my in-store pickup stuff, they had given me 5 3-inch 45s. So here's a 3-inch. So to give you an idea, what I needed, what I ordered was 1.5-inch 45s. So here's an 1.5-inch 90, right? So just, well, you know what? It's probably over here in this bag of stuff here. Let me set you down for a second. Hope that's secure enough. Anyway, so house numbers. Parts. I'm pretty sure it's in here. So yeah, there we go. So here you go. So there's an 1.5-inch 45. They gave me 5 of these. I needed 5 of these. They gave me 5 of these. But this is a street. They gave me regular, you know, bell to bell, or what do they call it? Hub by hub, right? But I returned them, and they were charging me $6.47 a piece, and on their shelf, they call for 45s at $18 a piece. These guys, they charged me $6.47. It turns out that these guys are only $2.10. So man, you got to watch these guys like a hawk, the stuff that they do. So anyway, I went and picked up 2 of these because I realized that my Y branches, so if you follow me over here, if you can get that far, I don't know if you'd allow me to get over here. So these 3x3 Y branches, this allows me to go on, and my waistline basically does this, if that makes sense to you. It's going to be running that direction, right? So flow, that's why the 45 here, flow goes that direction. From this end right here, it'll come out a little ways, and off of that, where it comes off a little ways, there'll be another Y, which, I'm trying to remember what I was doing here on that, is going to be, oh, that's right. That's the Santee, I believe. Because what I'm going to do is, on this end right here, I'm going to back this way, grab the Santee, we'll catch, actually go this way, and we'll go over and catch the vanity from the other part of the bathroom area. And anyway, so then this will go over to the toilet. And actually, I'm showing it backwards so you can see that 2-inch side inlet. It'll actually go in like this, where you don't see that side inlet, because that 2-inch line that's in my hand right now, it's going over to the shower, and that'll connect into one of these P-traps. So the P-trap will come from the shower drain, come out of that, run over and go to the side inlet on that 3-inch, and then the other part of the 3-inch, which is coming off of the waistline. This is the closet flange. It'll come off the closet flange, go into the 90, and then that 90 will come over and go into the 45, which will go into this, and then run back through the house to the back side. And then at the other end, we'll connect into the septic line. What I don't know yet, until I get down there and start putting all these parts together, is whether or not I'm going to, the old system here on this house had ABS. And being from California, we do 90% of our waste and vent in ABS. You get out here in the South, they want to do everything in PVC. Now I'm used to paying more for PVC and less for ABS. You get out here in the South, they want to charge you more for ABS and less for PVC. Unless, of course, you come when we first got here, and I paid almost $700 for my 4-inch waistline for the RV. Almost $700. Well, I only spent $400 for all these other parts. 4 pieces of 3-inch, 3 pieces of 2-inch, 5 pieces of 1.5 inches, and all these fittings you see here, $400. Now I spent a little more money for my flex duct, so by the time I was done with my order, I was at $1,000 because, believe it or not, they want $100 plus for the 12-inch flex duct per box, and $90-some for all the other ones per box. Man, by the time you add all this stuff up, everything is like it's $1,000 here, $2,000 there, $1,000 here, $2,000 there, $2,000 over here, $4,000 over there. I was going to take the camera out and videotape. Yesterday was Cheryl's birthday, and we celebrated at the winery. And I think I told you guys about Pa Bella's flower farm and nursery that's behind us. Sean and Jill, who purchased the property behind us for the nursery, also purchased in town a big piece of land that had a winery on it. Man, I'm telling you, good wine, well established, cleaned up, it looks good. They're just wonderful people, and everything they touch, I hope, turns to gold. I pray that all of their investments pay off. They're good people. So we had Cheryl's birthday party over at the winery yesterday. Had a bunch of our friends over there. Some of my sheet metal stuff showed up as well. So I think I have most of what I need to build my plenum. Today we picked up the styrofoam insulation that will go inside the plenum. And I also received today the foil back insulation wrap that I need to wrap my Ys and stuff like that. So we're pretty good to go to get most of the plumbing stuff roughed in underneath, get most of the HVAC stuff roughed in. There's a few things I need. I'm going to have to get another piece of sheet metal, which I forgot to get today while we were there. I think I got one piece here I can use. I think, in fact, I rolled it up. Here we go. And it's actually a little big, but this guy right here, this was a piece that I used. I think I showed that before. Where these straight pieces of duct sheet metal, I cut up and made extensions for all my boots because they're all going through a 2x6 floor, and then they need to be low enough to get underneath the purlings and whatever is in the way down underneath. So I had to make those. I got this stuff for that. Well, it turns out that this is big enough to make a round. Actually, it's a little bit too long. I got to cut a little bit off. All right, guys. So I didn't get back to you yesterday afternoon, and pretty much all day today's gone by. It's 2:30 something in the afternoon, and I've gotten a little bit of stuff accomplished today, moving some stuff around underneath, finishing up some sheet metal stuff that I started the other day, and getting another section of Tyvek. I keep calling it Tyvek. It's not actually Tyvek brand, but it's a material like Tyvek that I'm putting underneath the floor joists. And I know you guys have seen that in the other videos, how I'm doing that. I finished off basically the one half of the home. The front half is all done with Tyvek. And I went underneath and pushed my boots up, to a couple of locations that didn't have them yet. So pretty much, I got what, 2 boots left to push up into their openings, and I'm gonna wait until I get the Tyvek before I push these last 2 in, because they're the spare bedroom that'll be the office and the bathroom, the hall bath. And then what else did I do? Well, I had to go back underneath and repin up some of the underlayment or Tyvek or whatever you want to call it, because when I was first putting it in, I was using my hand stapler chunk. The thing's it's no good anymore, and when you pull the handle, it locks in that position. You have to force it open, and it was really hard using it underneath there, and I don't think I pressed hard enough. And a bunch of the areas, after I pushed insulation down through there and put the subfloor down, it pushed the staples out. So I had to go back through and re-secure those with the pneumatic staple gun, which is a blessing, I tell you. It's worth every penny. What else? I feel like I did something else, but I got a late start this morning. And part of that is because I was finishing up a video which I just put out this morning. And then I spent a little bit of time on Facebook, which I know, not working and doing Facebook instead. What are you thinking? I'm thinking it's too darn hot and too humid out here, which is why I'm standing in front of the fan. I can work a little bit and then I have to stop, come over here and stand in front of the fan and cool off because the humidity is so bad. But nonetheless, so get this. Hang on a second. So get this. I got some of my other sheet metal came the other day, and I got some styrofoam to make my own plenum. Now I was looking around online looking for a plenum about the size that I wanted, say no greater than 24 by 24 by 36. And I'm looking at $300 or $400 for a plenum. So I ordered 2 sheets of 36 by 48 sheet metal, which came today. And look at the condition, man. This is how these delivery companies care for you. Look how jacked up that is because of the way they packaged it. I mean, it's not like I'm working in a sheet metal shop where I got a brake and I can cross break the pieces. I'm doing all this by hand, and this is not a good starting block. But hey, it is what it is. I can build this thing. Basically, in material, I've got, I don't know, about 70, 80 bucks. Well, yeah, about 80 bucks. 10, 20, 30, 45. Yeah, probably not even 80 bucks. And I can build one exactly the size I want. And I'll have enough material left over in these 2 sheets right here to make my start collars for my 12-inch runs. I'm probably going to need another piece though of something at least 36 long. I might have to buy one more of, oh, actually take that back, I need 37. So, I don't know, I can try and pull it out of, depends on how long I gotta make these things, because I'm gonna wind up at 21 is twice is 42 and 3/4, which pretty much only leaves me, what is that, 4 3/4? I say 41 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3/4. Yeah, 5 3/4. 5 3/4 is about what I need. Anyway, so now I'm just ranting, just showing you where we're at, and we're gonna move on. Time to go stand in front of the fan again. Show you my progress here in a minute.
You and me,
So there you have it. There's the pan lid. And once that's all put together and insulated, so I'm basically using styrofoam. They didn't have the 1-inch stuff that I wanted. And the 1-inch stuff they had was like $36, $34 a sheet, and I needed 2 sheets. I'm like, no, I can do it a different way. So I'm just using regular styrofoam, 1/2 inch, and doubling it. It gives me an R6.2, I believe, or 6.4, which should be plenty enough. I'll after the plenum is done, and after I've wrapped all my Ys, whatever bat wrap insulation that I have left over, I'll probably wrap the outside of the plenum as well. So there you have it. That's my sheet metal skills.